welcome to the Deathlock Podcast. I am your host, Mike the Biz, with our co-host here, Mill Hustles. How's it going, boss?
Well, considering you unblocked me and I can actually speak to you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you just need to watch what you're saying all the time, okay, sir? Is all I'm gonna say.
Nah, that was funny. It was a mishap with my phone. I just had to restart it. My goodness,
Yeah.
smartphones suck today. But we'll save that for another podcast as far as tech goes. And that OnePlus 12, oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I'm playing with the Samsung A15, which is a new device as well. So I have my qualms about that. But yeah, let's get into it. Again, happy, what is it? Tuesday or Wednesday? What the heck? I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday, I believe.
It doesn't matter what
It
day
doesn't
it is.
matter what day it is. Speaking of, obviously the headline is Raw going to Netflix in January 25. But since you went ahead and did a Rock joke over here, let's go ahead and start off with some Rock news first, right? So this was actually the first bit of wrestling news that I saw this morning was that that Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, finally acquired the trademark rights to the name The Rock. So he will probably hold that until the day he dies, probably, or whatever. I don't know. But I think that's interesting. Also, he is now a part of the board of directors for TKO. So I don't know exactly how much power he has. But that's going to be interesting seeing, what they do or what they plan to do, I guess. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, he has a lot of power being on that board.
Yeah,
A lot of power. He has more power than anyone in the WWE.
What about Nick Khan, for instance? You think he would?
If Nick Khan is part of the board of directors, then it's
Yeah.
probably equal. But if not, then The Rock has more power than him.
Pretty crazy stuff going on today, guys, with the wrestling news. And I don't know how much time Mill Hustles has or whatever to talk about this, but just going into a little bit of detail for the actual contract or for the actual, I guess, rights that they are getting for Netflix, right? It is a $500 million a year deal for, I believe, 10 years. Now, Netflix does have the right to opt out of the actual agreement after 5 years if they choose not to want to stay with Monday Night Raw, which I think probably would be a big mistake. I know there is a package deal internationally going on currently with them as well. So everybody else outside the United States will also get NXT and SmackDown on Netflix. So I believe that the subscriber rate. I believe
the
PLEs as well. Yeah. So
I don't get them overseas. PLEs for us are going to stay on Peacock.
Correct. So yeah, from what I knew they were still doing WWE Network overseas. I guess maybe they're gonna get rid of it come 2025. I guess once that does actually happen and once they transition over to Netflix. I think that's interesting, though. I guess probably because, again, Peacock still has the streaming rights for the PLEs in the States, which I don't have a problem with. I haven't really experienced a lot of bad, stuff with Peacock watching the network events on there. But, once they land on Netflix, I'm probably not going to use Peacock anymore because that's really the only reason why I use Peacock and that specific app or subscription service to begin with. And I think I only pay like $6 or $7 a month. I think originally I was paying like $5. So
when does the Peacock deal come up? Do you know? Did they say anything about that? Because as of now, they're going to hold on to the PLEs in the US.
Yeah. I don't have any information on that. Like I've been kind of like poking my head in and out of Twitter all day with like the news. I don't have any information as far as how long the Peacock deal goes. It could be for a couple more years. I believe once, and that's because they just signed with, again, USA on SmackDown. So I think that might have to be some sort of agreement there with them being on SmackDown still on the USA Network. And, USA is owned by NBC Universal. NBC Universal owns Peacock, for those of you guys who don't know, right? So this is pretty big thing. I think financial wise, this is going to earn them another $5 billion over the next, again, like 5-10 years. So that's pretty crazy.
And that's, about that money. Let me do some quick math. I got a little extra time. I got a little
some Steiner math over here.
I got a little extra time tonight divided by 12. So that's $41 million a month.
Crazy.
And that should, the cost of making an episode of Raw is like $1 million
Oh
around
wow.
there.
Yeah.
With this much money they're getting, of
Yeah.
course, after Uncle Sam steals his half,
Of course.
um,
We already know
we
what's up
could see
there.
some major upgrades on Raw. Raw could look like a completely different show. Back to the thing about the 5 year opt out. I did not read
Hmm.
that. That's new to
Yeah.
me. But
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if Vince McMahon still had full power, that deal wouldn't have gone past probably the 5th year. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but again, I think that's why they give Netflix that opt-out deal just in case, because of course, I mean, this is the most money WWE has ever seen to begin with. So the fact that Netflix can really opt in to stay with them for another 10 years after that 5 years, and who knows, once they can do contract renegotiations, right? Obviously, right? But if not, I mean, that's a lot of money. Like you say, if it only costs $1 million to produce Raw once a week, and they're getting 40, how do you say, $47 million
Per
a month
month.
per month, just for and of course let's consider that this money is also going to the other shows like NXT and SmackDown as well, right? Not just Raw production as well, but they're banking about, I would say, probably close to $30 million, excluding what they have to pay the stars every month. Again, I don't know how often wrestlers get paid or whatever, if it's like a weekly or just
I'm pretty sure that they're going to be so profitable this year,
yeah.
even more than ever. Going back to Peacock real quick, their deal
Yeah.
comes up in 2026.
Okay.
It doesn't say
So
the month; it's just the year.
probably
So I expect
January.
the bidding war, for the rights to the
Yeah.
rest of the network. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big deal.
Oh
So
yeah. No,
Netflix is
no.
trying pro wrestling again after they had their Lucha Underground stint. WWE has had some stuff on Netflix before, like a couple of movies, documentaries and stuff, like the Rock
Yeah.
and Cena documentary. Before I think their second showdown was on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix. I didn't watch it because I'm just not that interested. But yeah,
All right, I'm getting some more information. Oh, okay, sorry, it's because my buddy's sending me some information about AEW Collision, which I will be actually at next next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday after the Royal Rumble. So I'm actually going to be at the live TV taping of that, or whatever you want to call it. I guess I'll be
oh my
there, but
goodness! So you're technically going to a hotel because you're gonna fall asleep when you're there. Anyway.
luckily it's only like a 10-15 minute drive from my house, actually, so it's really not that far. If I won't fall asleep, and it is what it is. We'll see how that goes.
Well, if the Young Bucks are on, you'll fall asleep.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I'm positive that I'm gonna be booing the hell out of them if I see them there. Hopefully they're not. Hopefully, I get to see a little bit of Sting, a little bit of maybe Edge, or Adam Copeland, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call him. But for now, again, I'm just kind of just gonna keep my mind open, and my try to be entertained is all I'm gonna say with the Ololotes over there. But yeah, going back, this is pretty crazy, and again, this might change the way we see a lot of different, especially live television shows. Obviously, you have things like the NBA, the NFL, which are seasonal. Seasonal live sporting events, but Raw is Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. It's produced every week. Every week you got a
You
show.
know,
Rain, sleet, or snow, they do what they need to do to stay on the air and keep production going. So I'm interested to see what changes.
all I
Again.
know is this. This is
Mhm.
this is what I worry about. I got two final things to say
Mhm.
about this.
Okay.
The first one I forgot, so I'm going to go to the second one. Okay.
You're like, I already forgot.
You know, Netflix is very, very, very politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
WWE, they're very family friendly. Of course, they've gotten a tad edgier since Triple H took the book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad that Peacock is not losing the network for now, because if they were to go
Yeah.
to Netflix, we would see a very, very, very censored version of the network. And I forgot the other part, but it'll come back to me.
Well,
I remember.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
It's going to be ad free if you're on that tier.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with the tiers, because I know there is a few tiers that you can get that will give you commercial free stuff, right? I know the bottom tier is like a commercial based version of Netflix. I think I pay for the ad free version. I think like there's several different versions, obviously. My question is also like on that. First of all, like what happens if Netflix does decide to change their pricing again, or whatever. Like
It could happen. It could happen. That's a
yeah.
big investment.
And the thing about it is, like, also you have to consider, like, okay, like, they might be going back to, try a month on us and watch WWE, on our brand, right? Obviously, right? Just like, other streaming services they offer, before you would get like 2-3 months free. Now it's more like a week if you're lucky, or like 2-3 days,
Netflix ain't doing nothing free no more.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah,
hopefully
I'm saying, but they used to, though. They used to,
yeah.
way back in the day, back in 2017.
Netflix. Oh yeah,
yeah, back in 2017. You know what I mean?
My final
Pre
thought on
2020.
My final thought on this, because that's I pretty much said what I wanted to about that.
Okay.
It's gonna make Raw a lot more accessible to people that don't want to pay for cable. And WWE, here's the secret: they don't have to worry about ratings for Raw anymore.
Yeah, and that's something that I was actually watching on another podcast as well earlier. Because first of all, like, yes, they're going to broadcast it live, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to see all the reruns on it, and I'm pretty sure you're still going to be able to see the reruns of like SmackDown and NXT on Netflix as well, including, like they said, all the original content. So I'm just interested because I know right now I know they have a deal with Hulu also, which they actually re-air like the show the following day. So I don't know if Netflix is just gonna take over and do that as well, and they're gonna leave Hulu altogether. Because I actually will watch if I miss a show, I'll go watch it on Hulu like a day or two later, just depending on if I didn't already get like the spoilers from like small internet clips or whatever you want to call it. But I think that's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting. It's going to be a very positive thing for the WWE. And all I can tell you is some of these stars' wallets are going to get a lot fatter. Also, they're going to be able to keep people a lot longer as well. And they're going to be able to acquire a lot more people as well. So it's going to be interesting.
And I bet that stock price went up. Damn it! I wish I would have.
I heard the TKO stock went up as high as $95, but it closed out at $89 today. So it might get me interested in buying some TKO stock. We'll see. Who knows? I think currently you can only buy full shares at the moment, not partial shares. So I'm kind of staying away from that for now, at least. I remember WWE stock, you were able to buy like partial shares, I believe. So anyways, okay, so going on from the major news, right? And again, we have to go back to what you sent me here. I know you scripted this entire event for us here today. I know we got like 1 million viewers watching, by the way.
Well, so I made 2 cents off of the TKO stock because I have like 15 cents. And I lost 2 of them. I should have cashed out. I would have been rich.
You're right. I mean, hey, you might have had to report that on your taxes, but next year, since it's 2024 now, you wouldn't have to do it until next year. So anyways, so we already talked about The Rock owning the rights to his name and him being a part of the board of the directors. Do you have any comments on that going further?
Nah.
Yeah,
so pretty much summed it up.
I mean, I think ESPN interviewed him. Steve Smith interviewed him. So they were asking, are we going to see you at WrestleMania? He's like, it's a very high possibility. And my thoughts on that are, I think money wise, that's going to make the company the most money. As much as people,
he's going to draw them more money than anyone on that roster.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't care like about Cody finishing the story or whatever. I know that like it's a good storyline, right? And I'm hoping that he does get his his bag in the end, right? But in this case, right, he might not be that guy for WrestleMania, or again, who knows? Maybe he wins the Rumble.
Maybe he should be Stardust again.
Maybe he should be Stardust, or maybe he should go back to dashing Cody Rhodes. Or again, maybe he challenges Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title, right? Again, we'll see what happens, obviously, and we'll get into the whole Seth Rollins thing. But for my take on it is like Rock and Roman Reigns is going to be probably, if it happens, this will probably be like one of the big, like top 3 WrestleManias of all time. I mean, and the Rock said it himself that that this could possibly be the biggest WrestleMania of all time, especially with everything that's been going on.
The Rock, I love The Rock. I hate his Acorns commercials.
It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you think.
But him joining the board of directors, the possibility, him being on the board, the possibility of him being at WrestleMania or even the Rumble as a surprise entrant is very, very high now, in my opinion. But here's the biggest thing, real quick, before so I can wrap my part up. Here's the biggest advantage of The Rock owning his name, The Rock. Now he can go to AEW and be The Rock instead of the Pebble. Oh!
I mean, I guess so. I mean, I don't think he would have gone by the Pebble. You know, he probably would have just, I don't know, whatever. He could have. I'm pretty sure there's so many. There's so many other names that he could trademark, like the Brahma Bowl. Like, this is the Brahma Bowl, and I'm coming to Monday Night Raw, the Brahma Bowl. You know what I mean? Instead of The Rock, you know, I am the Brahma Bowl. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing what happens. You know, there's so many things changing. You know, it's barely the end of January. Rumble's this Saturday, and we just have so many things that have happened so far this year. Moving on to Seth Rollins and his injury. So Monday night, he did announce that, you know, he has a partial tear in his MCL and his whatever meniscus, or however you pronounce it. It's a knee injury, a partial knee injury. You know, I don't think it's going to require surgery, or I think that he might be just putting it off until after Mania.
It's recommended. Possibly. It's recommended.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know exactly what the doctors told him. You know, they said if he gets surgery, he would be back within like 3-4 months. You know, give or take. I don't know, right? But I feel like he's just going to hold out. He's going to try to recover and do as much physical therapy as he can, and then, you know, of course, you know, do the match, and then, you know. I think that's a bad idea. That's just my opinion, though. I think that,
just like we spoke about on text yesterday, that guy just doesn't get it.
Yeah,
like he should have sold that knee injury like he was dying in pain.
Yeah,
that way it would, you know, make things more interesting, especially during his promo with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that was a pretty good promo, by the way. Gunther, whatever you want to call him. You know, proclaiming that he is going to win the Rumble, and I'm inclined to believe that he's going to be one of the final four again. You know, hopefully he doesn't have to go through another hour again like he did last year, right? You know, I think that he was the Iron Man, and even though he didn't win, he's technically has the record for longest time in a Rumble match without winning, of course. Pretty crazy though.
Gunther,
the Gunther, right? He looks great. You know, he's lost a lot of weight over the last couple of years. He's still the Intercontinental Champion. We'll see where that, you know, goes, or where that leads up, you know, prior to WrestleMania. Who knows? I mean, I still see him going in to WrestleMania as IC champion, but personally, I don't know. I don't think he's going to win the Rumble as much as a lot of people want him to win. I think, you know, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Triple H he's a candidate.
He is a candidate. Though, yeah. There's LA too many.
Yeah, there's like 5 people I think could win the Rumble. Yeah, LA Knight, Gunther, Cody, Punk, and even The Rock. You know that Gunther's joining the board of directors of HEB?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's good. They're gonna change the name of the company to Everything's Gunther.
He might have flown in recently, because I think they flew in today for meetings in our region, our specific region where I live. So who knows? He might be down here. I might see him at my HEB tomorrow when I'm at work. So we'll see how
keep in mind they're not writing up. They're not writing up employees no more. If you get chopped 3 times, literally chopped in the chest, you get fired.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that the son of Michael Cole is my regional boss, by the way?
Are you serious?
For the department that I work in? Yes. And I've actually known who he is, because he used to be like a store leader at one of the stores I used to work at before he got into like regional leadership. But yeah, he is my department region boss. So
he must make really good money then.
I'm not 100% sure, but like you know, every now and then he'll pop his head in the department, and you know, he cool guy. He's probably around the same age, maybe a little bit older than me. I'm not 100% sure. He's probably closer to 40 though.
You should tell him to ask his dad that, you know, a guy that's been in the business that needs a job.
Right, I'll be like, hey, I it's not for me, but it's for a buddy of mine that, you know, is
Mill Hustles.
Mill Hustles. He's like, I know that guy. I follow him on the Deathlock podcast over here, right? Yeah, but anyways, not to give any information away, right? You know, obviously, I want to keep his life private or whatever. I just wanted to kind of point that out, that, you know, again, the son of Michael Cole is my regional boss, so I think that's pretty cool though. And I haven't met Michael Cole, but you know, at least I know I've conversed with his son, you know, so I think it's pretty cool. It's small world. Like when people say it's a small world, it really is. Cause like I've literally like met a handful of people that like it's like wow. But anyways, let's move on, right? So I don't know. You didn't give me that many topics, man. I don't know what to talk about, man. Okay, let's see. I got it here. Don't worry, I got it. Don't worry.
Gotcha.
So let's move on to probably the next best segment of Monday Night Raw is Cody Rhodes and the CM Punk promo. What are your thoughts on that?
Very good promo. Very passionate. What pro wrestling is. I got from a source that Tony Khan was punching the air, crying, throwing his coffee everywhere, and the Young Bucks were trying to console him.
He was crying because of all the money.
I could have had this. I could have had this.
All the money that he had on the table. You know what I mean? Well, I'm pretty sure Cody knew what he was doing when he left. He was smart about it, right? Punk, you know, whether people want to believe it or not, he still got fired, right? But maybe that was some sort of work or whatever just to get him out of the company, right? Again, who knows? You know, people can speculate what they want to speculate, but he, again, 3 months after he was released, he showed up at Survivor Series, and now we're here already, 3 weeks into the new year. He's already had several segments with guys like Drew McIntyre, guys like Seth Rollins. You know,
he looks happier,
and he does look happier. And again, some of these segments are some of the highest viewed segments, not just on the specific shows that he's been on social media as well, right?
He even beat us. You believe that?
He even beat the Deathlock podcast by like 3 million views. But anyways, you know, it was an interesting promo. You know, whether the story about him, you know, and Dusty Rhodes is true or not, I kind of feel like that's a little bit of fiction. Maybe not. I don't know. What do you think?
I believe it. Because one thing that Dusty Rhodes always had was a favor with the wrestlers. Every time that they talk about Dusty, you know, Cody gets choked up. And I understand Dusty was the man.
Yep.
You know, he was the man, baby.
Yeah. I mean, probably one of the most respected figures in the business history, like period, right? He did a lot, not just as a wrestler, but as a guy that was behind the scenes, whether it be guy like, you know, NWA, WCW, and then WWE prior to his death a couple years back, right? So, I mean, I get why why he has so much respect from a lot of the top talent that is right now currently, a lot of the top talent that are currently on the main roster, right? We're trained by him. So
I guarantee you, if Dusty was still around and he was in AEW as a trainer, that would be a different company. It would be a different company. Otherwise, he would have left.
Yeah, you know, I think
because a lot of those guys are students of Dusty. Even the guys that were on the Indies for a decade or so and went to NXT, for example, all those people respect Dusty.
Yeah, and because I think at some point they all worked with him, you know what I mean, or they went through him at some point. Whatever they were doing, but regardless, the promo, I think you know that was an interesting story that Punk said, like, oh, like your dad wanted me to keep an eye out for you, but you know I didn't really have to. You didn't get your hands too dirty, or you didn't get your hand caught in the cookie jar, where you couldn't get yourself out of the trouble yourself, right? You were a good kid, etc. This and that, right? You know, then of course, you know, CM Punk kind of, you know, throwing a little shade, saying like, you know, I'm more of a American dream than you are, right? Because, you know, his dad was, you know, just a blue collar guy, you know, and whatnot, right? And you know, it kind of like dug into Cody Rhodes a little bit, right? I think the promo didn't go too far as like, you know, like the actual like insults. I don't know if you got any of that or not. Did you catch that or no?
There was a couple of
digs, but nothing to the point where it's like, you know, like
there was like a lot of backhanded compliments.
Yeah, there was like a lot of like respect in the promo as well, and I think that's something that I've been kind of noticing different on CM Punk, right? You know that, you know, if like again, if you push him against the into the corner, he is gonna bite, right? But you know, if you respect and you know just little things like that, you know, you're going to see different character out of him. And I saw it on this promo on Monday Night Raw with Cody, right? And of course, I know you know these guys have a lot of respect for each other in general, and I just love how, you know, CM Punk was also saying like, oh, I hope that after Saturday that you and I can still be friends, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, it's every man for himself in that ring when it comes to the Rumble. And I get it, right? You're buying buying yourself that ticket to the main event at WrestleMania, right? And who knows, maybe CM Punk goes for Roman Reigns if he wins the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I mean, I doubt it.
I think that this is the beginning of a slow burning Cody heel turn.
I mean, I hope not. I feel like a lot of people want to see a heel turn for that, but I could see Punk, being the heel that he's very good at. Obviously, everyone knows that CM Punk plays a good heel, right? Now, of course, over the past couple of years, we've already seen him in AEW, who's more of a baby face, right? And vice versa, right? In Raw, right? He's technically a baby face right now.
Speaking of that, Drew McIntyre, is he a heel or a baby face? Because I just don't know.
It's hard to say because when you listen to his promos, also there's a lot of respect that go into it, but then when you look at his actions, like what he's doing and little things here and there, like he had help from the Judgment Day a while back, right? And just just little things like that kind of make you think twice. But
same thing with AJ Styles. Is the guy a baby face or a heel? I don't know.
It's hard to tell because I feel like he's still pissed off about whatever happened with the bloodline, obviously trying to take him out. There's a little bit of miscommunication between him and his the OC, whatever the original club, whatever you want to call it. There's really hasn't been a lot of there's been a few backstage scenes there, but there really hasn't been like, hey, we got your back if something happens. And we really haven't seen it. We really haven't seen him communicate. He just kind of listens and walks away. So who knows? It is kind of confusing right now. I feel like AJ Styles is more of a heel, though. I'm probably seeing Drew more as a heel also, even though, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what the hell happens in the Rumble, because I feel like Drew's also one of those guys that might be one of those guys that is going to be like the final four in the Rumble match. I feel like people are not including him as well, which is pretty crazy because, he's done a lot over the last couple of years. Probably I don't think he's gonna win it, but I think he is gonna be one of the deciding factors, one of maybe the final four. Man, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a very good Royal Rumble this Saturday, and I cannot freaking wait. Honestly, I hope Peacock doesn't crash or anything like that. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
You see the difference in morale that Vince McMahon, while he's still the top dog, he has a boss. And he said, no creative for you.
Yep. Yeah, which is the best idea, especially with everything that has happened with him in the last couple of years, right? Since kind of leaving the first time, right? And then trying to come back and, more allegations and whatnot happening. So it's just better that, he just collect his paycheck, take the money and be a minority owner in the company, right? I don't know exactly how much stock he owns.
He owns 5% of the
because I know he sold off a lot a while back, right? Which maybe he should have waited because of the whole Netflix thing. His money would have just grown. But he doesn't. I don't think the guy has to worry about money.
He'll get a nice check for the Netflix deal, though.
Yeah. I'm sure he will. I think there's a documentary about him going on. Actually, I don't know if Netflix is releasing it or if another company is releasing it, but. Anyways, any final thoughts on the Cody and CM Punk promo? I mean, what were your thoughts? What's your opinion on that?
No, it was good, man.
It was good.
We need more of that. We need more of that.
Yeah, stuff. I'm kind of getting annoyed, not annoyed, but tired of the promos because it's some of the Punk has wrestled a couple of times since coming back, right? In live events, right? He hasn't done any actual televised events, but. Hell, man, I would have been happy to see him in a freaking tag match, maybe Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio and whoever else. That I guess that JD guy versus him and Cody or somebody else, right? Something to that extent where we can get a little sneak peek of what we're going to see.
They're treating him with kid gloves.
Yeah,
and he's a special attraction, so I don't expect to see him on regular television wrestling that often. I mean, look at Brock.
True.
Had made his first appearance on Raw to wrestle after WrestleMania, where he turned on Cody last year, and that was the closest we got to him on wrestling on regular television. The last time that he wrestled on regular television was, I think, when he took the belt off of Kofi. Yeah, I think that was the last time. And
I was 3 years ago.
That was the premiere on Fox, so they had to do something really big. So
and again, it was big. So, and you're right. I'm not sure to what extent Punk is in that category, though. I know you say he's an attraction, right? I feel like he's not up there as far as Brock Lesnar territory goes, but I mean, if that's what they're going to do with him, then, you know, I guess we'll see what happens, right? You know, I mean, yes, I want to see him on TV, but it's like, I feel like, you know, like you said, they're kind of treating him with like baby hands over here. And maybe they're worried he's going to get injured also. Who knows? Because he did get injured like 3 times.
Chicken. He could get injured.
Yeah. So yeah, he did get injured like 3 times, like in AEW.
Yeah, I'll give him less than a year. He'll be injured here again, but it happens.
Hopefully not. Yeah.
Sport.
Hopefully not.
Brock will be in the Rumble.
I mean, he was last year. I was able to see him for a whole 5 seconds. I was, you know what? Like, I was kind of disappointed when I was at that Rumble also, because I was like, man, like, you know, usually Brock Lesnar dominates in every single Rumble, right? That he's been in, right? He's one of those guys that will last at least half the match, right? And then, you know, everyone will just gang up on him and kick him out, obviously. But last year, of course, Bobby Lashley had to get involved, and, you know, he they eliminated him really quick, and I was just kind of upset. Will he be in the Rumble this year? I don't think he will be, but I know that he will find a way to get in WrestleMania. Of course, you know, we already know Brock Lesnar. He didn't have a great match last year at WrestleMania, right? I'm pretty sure he still got paid a lot for that match, even though the match really didn't matter. So we'll see. I don't know. It's to the point though where they really don't need Brock Lesnar, in the Rumble match. I think that they can only have so many surprise entrances when it comes to that, and really they've only kind of named a handful of people in the actual event itself, right? I want to say there's only like 5 or 6 confirmed people as far as the male talent go in the Rumble. Everyone else is going to be kind of a mystery, right? We might have a spread between SmackDown and Raw, and maybe even NXT, right? Or again, we might see guys like Andrade, El Idolo return, you know, as well. He might make an appearance there at the Rumble, or again, maybe a guy like Kazuchika Okada, possibly, which
I hope we get some surprises. I don't care about Andrade like that.
Yeah,
like, if he shows up or not, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, he'll get a small pop and it'll be like, yeah, Andrade is back. And then, you know, he'll be back on SmackDown, you know, jobbing as a mid-carder probably, right? You know, jobbing as a mid-carder or, you know, hopefully, you know, again, I would like to see him versus a guy like Logan Paul, or, you know, maybe against a guy like Gunther for the Intercontinental title. That would be a great match. A great match, by the way. Moving forward, let's I know I think we went pretty much burned through the topics, right? We're only at half an hour here though. Let's see, you left something else in here. Let's see, Randy Orton no shows live event. He's supposed to replace Seth Rollins. So what's going on there? I don't have any information on that.
There's no details about that since this happened. Randy probably was playing a video game because he's a big gamer, and he probably just said, "Oh, I'm on a streak. Screw the live event."
You're right. He's like,
hopefully he's okay.
He's like, I'm only getting paid a couple $1,000 for this anyway, so it's whatever. Well, anyways, going back, I mean, again, that's the first I hear that. But if he didn't no show, I mean, really, what trouble can he get in? The guy just came back. You know, I would think that, you know, he's still kind of that they should still be baby handing Randy Orton also, just because of, you know, his issues with his back. And I feel like he's going to be one of those guys that hopefully, you know, they don't really have to use him every week, and that he's just, you know, wrestling maybe like, you know, 15 to 20 matches a year. That's it. You know what I mean? Just bring him in when you absolutely need to, and that's it. You know, I think he's done what he needs to do in that company. If he's ever going to be at the top, you know, of the food chain again, who knows? We'll see. But personally, I don't think he needs to win another world title. We'll see, though. I mean, we'll see what they decide to do there. If you continued watching Monday Night Raw, you'll see towards the end that Jinder and Indus Sher had a little bit of a segment there, right? He actually got some airtime, which is pretty interesting, right? He's like, I think I need to talk to Adam Pearce, right? And to see what's going to happen with me now, right? Of course, right? So, I mean, he had a lot of heat those last couple of weeks, especially, you know, having the promo with The Rock, having the promo with Seth Rollins, and then having that match, which ultimately led to Rollins' injury, right? Even though it probably wasn't his fault for the injury, right? I think Seth Rollins' injury was results from like a reverse back spring or whatever the hell. I don't even know what move it was. Probably was some.
Credit.
I'm sorry.
Jinder and Storyline should take credit for that.
Yeah, and I think he did say it he did mention something on air about like being responsible for Rollins being injured and whatnot. Anyways, so I'm interested to see what they do with him. For me, since he's on Monday Night Raw, my only thing is okay. If obviously the World Heavyweight title is going to not be the top title until WrestleMania for that brand, so they really have to focus on the Intercontinental Championship now, right? And of course the tag titles are there, but they really. But what I see is him winning the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther, I don't know, whatever his name is. And then him taking over the IC spot, and then him getting his other two guys, the Indus, I don't know, Veer Mahal and the other guy, or not Veer Mahal. What's his name? I'm just call him Veer. I don't know. I don't know why I said Veer Mahal.
Veer Maharaja.
No, it's not even that. But anyways, I see him and the other guy taking the tag championships off of the Judgment Day in a random tag team tournament, obviously, because they like to have those tournaments, and they really haven't been doing a lot with the tag team championships. There's really no story for the tag team title belts right now, especially what's been going on the last couple of weeks. But I can see Jinder Mahal taking over as like the top heel for Monday Night Raw, and him and the Indus guys just taking over and causing chaos, and maybe potentially also kind of feuding with the Judgment Day. What would that be entertaining to you, Mr. Mill Hustles?
Yeah, actually that would.
Yeah, because I mean, like for the most part, like Judgment Day, even though they're technically a heel faction, right? Most of their characters are faces. Damian Priest with R-Truth, obviously, Finn Balor. Come on, Finn Balor. Everybody loves Finn Balor. Even though people hate Dominic Mysterio, they really love him, obviously.
Yeah.
And of course, Rhea is like the top female talent for the entire company right now currently. So, even though they are, again, heels, I could see them feuding with, again, Jinder's group and just kind of going at it for a couple months, back and forth. Him being the Intercontinental Champion. Again, I don't know how Gunther loses the title, but there's just so many good, there's so much good talent right now in WWE, especially. It's just like, who do you put on top, man? It's crazy, man. I don't know.
You almost forget that the WWE has competition.
It's crazy because if you think about it, they compete with themselves a lot, right?
But this Collision's got such a bad rating on Saturday.
God, I hope you watch it. That way you can see if you can see.
Wait a minute, you're going to the Collision event?
I'm going. I'm not this Saturday. Next Saturday. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, like, wait a minute, you're skipping the Rumble for Collision?
No, I'm sorry. So my event is on February the 3rd. So check that event out. No one's gonna watch Collision this Saturday. I'm pretty sure if they're lucky, they'll get like over 150K as far as like the watch time and everything like that. But like you said, like
they should have their own Royal Rumble.
Right. They're just gonna have like a random battle royal. I would be laughing actually if something like that actually happened. So. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if you want to go over any predictions for the Rumble, or if you want to maybe wait and stream like on Friday, or maybe sometime Saturday, maybe to go over predictions. Maybe I work Saturday, unfortunately, but I can maybe do a morning stream if you wanted to, go that route.
I don't know my schedule Saturday, but honestly, the 5 guys that we mentioned, like it's totally unpredictable to me.
It's gonna be a tough one, and who knows? I don't think Priest is gonna be.
What number are you coming in?
What number am I coming in?
Yeah,
in the Rumble, number 11.
I dare you to run into the ring while the match is happening.
Oh my God, imagine. That would be nice. That would be nice if I could actually be there in person this year. Actually, I would love for that to happen. Actually, my friend almost tempted me to go to Florida with him, but we didn't end up getting tickets, but that's something that should have just said, fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Well, I mean, topics are pretty much done for the day as far as that goes. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add on or mention, or if you want to talk about, your favorite other promotion, AEW, any TNA talk.
TNA trying to get another TV deal. TNA, like we said last week, they're doing some good stuff, but they have not gone over 80,000 viewers in months, and they own their own network. So good luck.
Right. Hey, but again, it could be because of the network that they're. I mean, you say they own their own network. What are they even running on anyway? I don't even. They're on what, Access TV? I think right now.
Yeah,
I think, right. So I mean, for them to get another TV deal, I mean, try to land. I mean, they're not obviously they're not going to go to the CW, because I think that's NXT, right? Um, who knows, honestly. I mean, at this point, I mean, TBS and Warner Discovery has AEW, NBC Universal and Fox have WWE. It's like, what other channels are out there? Like, I mean, maybe they can, I don't know. I feel like they would get more hits maybe like on a streaming platform also. Obviously, they're not going to get as much money, but like, hey, throw them on Amazon Prime, or throw them on Hulu, or I don't know what other streaming platforms. Disney Plus, come on. Disney Plus, let's go.
Yeah, they won't get on. You won't see them on Hulu no time soon because WWE. You won't see them on Tubi because Fox, WWE for now.
Yeah. Correct.
Amazon Prime, maybe.
It's a possibility.
That would be cool. It would be cool to see TNA stuff on Amazon Prime.
Right. Oh crap! Hold on. Happy birthday! What? I saw this guy this morning. Anyways, he was one of my coworkers. It was his birthday today. None of us even knew. That sucks. But he must work
for AEW.
He must work for AEW. Yeah, he works for the other 3-letter company, HEBB over here. But yeah, like one of my buddies thinks that MJF is still going to be in the Rumble this year. I was like, bro, like unless they're faking his shoulder injury, like.
Could you imagine the response that would happen if he was like every time the Rumble happens and there's music you don't recognize? Well, to be honest, I don't recognize anybody's music anymore. But when the crowd goes silent when they hear somebody's music, that's like, wait a minute, who is this?
Yeah, speaking of music, right? Most of the ever since Jim Johnston left, or that he got fired, whatever you want to call it, most of their music has just been trash. Of course, opposed to the rights of the music that they are paying for, like guys like Cody Rhodes, guys like The Miz. Who else? I mean, pretty much everybody else like has like some cheap generic music that really no one likes. I think that's one thing that WWE needs to kind of fix is the music. Of course they're paying for CM Punk's music, right? The Cult of Personality song. I'm pretty sure it's not as expensive as we think it is. Obviously,
he's friends with those guys, and I think that they're an independent act. So I'm sure the rights weren't too bad.
Possibly, but even then, like, I mean, when you're being promoted on a show like WWE or just the brand itself, I think they should be getting paid some good money, or at least I would hope so. But I think that's something, like you said, that just needs to be worked on, especially the females. Like, I hate all of the female music, honestly. I don't know. It's just not what it was back in like the late 90s, where you knew every like person's like theme song back in the day.
Yeah, people would buy soundtracks. Man, if I was in the WWE, I would say, hey, I want Jim Johnston to make my music, and I want my sound to be vintage, vintage Jim Johnston.
That would be awesome, honestly. And like a lot of the songs, he put together, he wrote, that he a lot of bands just covered for him, right? So like I think like the Triple H music also, I don't think it was written by Motorhead himself. I think they just or Batista song, for instance. The song that I think is played by Saliva, that's the band. The I Walk Alone, that one, that was written by Johnston, but I think they just performed it for them. So anyways, let's see, what other topics of conversation can we talk about? Let's talk about tech. Let's talk about tech.
Yeah, I'm down, bro.
We are live streaming.
I already know which you may have to change the title.
No, I'm not going
tech
to
wrestling. I think my next Android is going to be the OnePlus 12, because $700 for that phone, and the specs it has, that's a very, very, very reasonable offer. And I'm looking to get away from Samsung for a while, because I hate the One UI 6.1 update. I hate. So whenever they do crap like that, like certain changes to the Android system, it just drives me away, and I just leave them for like until something comes out that interests me.
Well, what about your iPhones over here? Don't you have a collection of them?
I got one iPhone. I sold the rest.
Oh my god!
But honestly, like iPhone is another one that it's like I have a 13.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of getting a 15 Pro. But after that, because I've never owned a Pro. Well, no, that's a lie. I had a Pro 11 Pro Max. That's a lie.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't know, man. We need another option. We need something beyond Android. We need something beyond iOS at this point, man.
Yeah, I think so also. And I know there's been companies that have tried, but unfortunately have failed, right? So who knows? I mean, maybe within 5 years we might be seeing something completely different. Some other tech company is going to come out and try to fight it. I think it's just,
everything is Android based. That's the problem. Android, since it's open source.
Open source, yeah. So easy.
It's going to be Android one way or another. KaiOS. Kai. That
those are for like the flip phones, right?
Yeah, for the non-smartphones. Yeah. That's a market they should be dominating, and of course Google is an investor in them, so they're going to screw that up too. Yeah. But I miss the bar phones with the full keyboards. Can we get one of those again?
Well, I don't know if you paid attention to CES this year, but they're actually going to come out with like a phone case that has like a physical keyboard on it for iPhones.
I didn't see that. I need to check that out.
Yeah, go to the YouTube channel is Michael Fisher, I believe that's his name.
Oh, but yeah, Mr. Mobile.
Yeah, Mr. Mobile. He is actually one of the guys that I think is part of that production of the keyboard. It's like, so check it out. I would check that video out. But yeah, as far as tech goes, again, I'm sporting I'm testing out the Samsung A15. I'm actually gonna have to go to Metro by T-Mobile tomorrow though, because the SIM card is not working on this device. So I'm gonna have to go get it checked out, see if it's the SIM card itself or if it's the phone. I'm gonna end up having to maybe send it back. But for this device is less than like what, $250. It has NFC, it has an AMOLED display, it has a pretty decent processor. Just like playing around with it the last day or so, I've only had it for about 24 hours, but like not downloading too many apps, like just having like basic crap like YouTube on it. It's a pretty smooth device, considering it does not have a Snapdragon processor. We have just a MediaTek with 4 gigs of RAM. So for it to be as smooth as it is with 4 gigs of RAM, I'm kind of like shocked. You know what I mean?
By the way, that case that you're referring to for the iPhone is called Clicks.
Oh yeah, Clicks. Yes.
Jesus, that thing.
Clicks.
It's a big case.
Clicks. Yeah, it's big. I would only see myself getting that for like a regular Pro phone, not a Pro Max phone.
Yeah, I would get it for a Pro because honestly, dude, I don't know about your experience, but I absolutely hate the iPhone keyboard. That's the one thing about iPhone I hate more than anything. Oh
yeah, I never use the iPhone keyboard. I download the Gboard keyboard and I just use Gboard instead on iOS. So
is it better?
It's a lot better, but when iOS updates, it takes a while for the keyboard to update the app as well. So the keyboard can be glitchy at times, but yeah, you can download Gboard for iOS and make it your like regular keyboard. I use it. I honestly prefer it. So I would check that out. If you're tired of it.
I use Gboard on all my Samsung phones because I don't like the Samsung keyboard that much.
Yeah, and the cool part is you even get haptic feedback on the keyboard for iOS. So if you miss the little vibrations when you're tapping down on the screen, you actually get that on here. So I mean, test it out, try it out. I recommend. I've been using it for a couple of years. I'm surprised not a lot of people know that you can get Gboard on iOS. I think I even made a video about it a couple of years ago.
No, I've used it on there, but
I've
used it. It wasn't that good for me.
Yeah, I think it's gotten better over the last couple of years. I think like when I first tried it, it was very glitchy, like I said, but it's gotten better with a lot of the updates. So I would check that out again and try it again, see how that works for you. But let's see now. Okay, I'm just going through my emails. How's it been going with you, Mr. Mill Hustles? Let's just leave it open chat now or whatever.
Oh man, excited, man. I got a couple of big things happening. I finally have left regular retail.
Congratulations. I hope that's me one day.
And I'm gonna start working at a bank this week.
Oh,
and I'm also gonna be a security guard at night.
Wow. Okay. Hey, that's good. I mean, you're double dipping there. You got your day job, and hopefully your night job is just part time, not like every day. Because we need a rest, man. We all need a rest. I feel like, you know, in this economy, man, even though money's tight, right, we all just need to take time to relax and enjoy ourselves and our hobbies as well. So I hope you're able to do that, man.
They're both full time.
You're like, oh shit, okay. So you think you're never gonna sleep, basically?
Nah, I've done this on and off for a couple of years where you know, like one job is like from 11 at night to 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then the other job is from like 10 or 11 to 7 p.m. But I sleep in between.
Yeah.
I go to like a truck stop and clean up.
Okay.
And then I try to have the same day off from both jobs.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Well, again, I hope you're able to rest, man. Speaking of banks, though, I have, you know, a LinkedIn account, right? And somebody reached out to me from one of the local banks down here because he was reading up on my experience, I guess, because I forgot to change my title because a couple of years ago I was a department lead, but now I'm not because I stepped down. But I forgot to change it. I just haven't really updated. And then he's like, going through your experience, you would be perfect for, you know, this customer specialist position here at our regional bank. And I'm like, but it's part-time. And I'm like, oh, like, you know, like you're asking you're reaching out to someone and you're offering them a part-time job. Like, it's 2024, bro. Get with the fucking program, dude. Can anyone live on a part-time, you know, income nowadays?
I mean, as long as there's good commission, but you know,
I doubt it.
I doubt it. This is the second time I ever applied at a bank, and this one actually offered me the job, and it's a decent salary. So
yeah,
you know, I just you know, hope it works out because eventually I'd like to move to a bigger one. Or
yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to respond to this guy. Like, I want to, you know, message him and be like, hey, like, you know, if you can match what I'm getting paid, you know, or even increase it, that would be awesome, right? But it's because I've been with, you know, the 3-letter company for so long that, you know, I'm getting paid more than my manager right now, dude. Like,
yeah, they're not gonna pay you what AEW does.
Yeah, they're not gonna give me that all Elota money over here. They're not gonna give me that CM Punk money. But like, that's the crappy part is, like, if you're gonna, you know, reach out to someone and be a recruiter, like, you know, you have to do it with, like, you have to have some sort of like semblance in mind that, you know, that we're gonna ask for what we're worth. Like, they may, like, especially with my experience, like in the retail sector, right? You know, almost 20 years. You know, even though it's only been with one company, right? Granted, right? You know, of course, I have my education to as well as my background. It's like, they want to offer you like $13 an hour starting. I'm like, bruh, like, I can go to Target and get exactly the same fucking pay and just fucking be picking my nose and on my phone all fucking day. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, there's that. You know, I mean, I guess just knowing your worth and, you know, discussing what your worth is with these people, I guess. And of course, like, they're never going to throw a counter offer at you that you want, though. I mean, in some cases, yes, I guess they do, but I mean, who knows?
I mean,
we'll see.
Jobs, the security job, you know, it doesn't pay as good as the bank, but I took it because I have goals.
Yeah.
And the bank one pays pretty good. It's not going to be my highest paying job, but it's going to be, you know, probably top 10. You know, of course, I'm going to have certain goals I have to meet. So I'm going to just make sure that my management trains me properly so I can succeed.
Yeah, you know, again, I know different banks, you know, ask for different things, right? You know, maybe getting customers to sign up for something, right? This and that, right? So it's understandable. You know, meeting specific requirements, you know, and like you said, maybe getting some sort of commission once you sign up enough people for, you know, a specific, you know, offering, whatever, you know, the company's offering, right? In this case, and I mean, I wonder how I would do in a position like that, just because, like, you know, I've never had to like be in one of those positions where like I have to, you know, offer, you know, something like that to a customer. I mean, I guess yes and no. I mean, you know, I guess it just depends what you would consider. But, you know, I think part of me in the last couple of years with my position was I was actually trying to bring in customers, like, you know, because we were, before COVID, like, we were very green, so to speak, right? In that department. So, but anyways, I'm just kind of speaking jibber jabber here. I'm kind of falling asleep here. I need to go jump in the shower. I don't know. Anything else, buddy, that you want to add in? We're almost hitting that hour mark already.
When I had my when I took my test to get my security license, one of the requirements was you had to write a report, like an incident report. And I've done that so many times. And my report was voted the best in my class. The trainer thought I used to be a cop.
Oh, wow.
He's like, "Oh, cat's out of the bag. Where have you done law enforcement, sir?"
Right. Well, it's not, I mean, again, it just goes with your experience and your knowledge and how to put something together, right? You don't have to be a cop or something like that just to put some eloquent words together is what I would like to say, right? To make sense of what happened or what happened or what you witnessed as well. So we'll see what's up, man. But yeah, dude, for me, hopefully we'll see. I mean, I'm just continuing my gig work. I want to try to get into something like UPS or FedEx or something, just where, I can be on the road and just not be in one place at the same time. But we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to continue to throw my job application out there. Maybe try to get something back in as far as, trying to move up again in the company I work for now, or, maybe even going back to school and trying to get certified for something as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. Well, nah, I got nothing else, brother.
All right, dog.
I just got, I have a goal, man. I want to be debt free by next year. That's going to be hard, but that's
you got this. I believe in you, bro. Focus and just keep it going, dude. Like, and just do what you got to do. Same here. I mean, same here. I want to try to continue cutting my deficit as down as we can, because we all have a little bit of debt. Let's be honest, right? But yeah, you got this, brother. I believe in you. And again, I guess I will reach out to you probably like a day or two before the Rumble. It's Tuesday barely, so we'll see what happens when you're free. I think if anything, maybe after SmackDown, if you're free Friday night, I would think like, hey, let's do a live stream Friday night. Maybe we can get Tito in on the action and see if he's available, right, and see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep you on here for like 2 minutes after we go off the air.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, everybody that's here watching, all the one watcher watching right now, thanks again for smashing that like button and checking out the podcast today. Appreciate it. Again, share the podcast with your family and friends. This is a small podcast. I stream on both my regular YouTube channel, which is my tech channel, and the actual main channels network, or whatever you want to call it. I guess we have a whole 28 subscribers here, but no one was watching tonight. I don't know what's going on. What's going on, guys? Give me a comment at least. Give me some comments. Where are you, Borganza? Where's Michael Loke? You know what I mean? But anyways, you guys, peace out. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you guys later.